Hey Legacy Traders, it's Tim with Option Legacy, helping you build a legacy through trading. I am getting started here. The market's about to open in a few moments, 5 minutes actually. But I wanted to just share with you guys me just kind of going through the charts and stuff like that. So if it adds value to you, let me know. It's not going to be real formal. It's just going to be like literally hanging out. So I might not be talking all the time, but you can see and ask questions. I'm going to get my Ethernet cord. Hold on. Plug in for some good streaming. Boom. All right, we are plugged in. Ooh. So this is just to YouTube subscribers and anyone who's an exclusive legacy trader. So you are getting a special little treat here. Let's see if I can't get the link out to people. Nope, that's it. Who? So I'm expecting, yesterday we had a big down day, and I'm expecting a rebound, but I'm not expecting a big move to the upside. So I'll likely hold on to my positions, even though I'm expecting to give back, a bit of that, of those profits from yesterday. You add up all those numbers on the green side, and it was $22,108 in a day. I'm okay with that. If you're okay with that, say yeah. Let me know. So we're just getting started. The market's about to open in about 5 minutes here. I want to make sure that I can get this out to you guys. Here we go. Get shareable link. I'm gonna post it in the group. Hey, come hang out with us in the trade room. Cool. Got it. All right, that is going. I'm gonna make sure that if you have any chats or anything like that, you can let me know. Okay, cool. So Benzinga, you'll hear this from time to time in the back. It is what's called Squawk. It is Benzinga Pro. It's something I'm testing out. Where is my other Benzinga platforms? Here we go. I want to pull this over so you guys can see this. Command Shift, right? Yeah, cool. There we go. And then we got Thinkorswim, just a platform. Then let's see here. Let's make another desktop. Because I want to bring this over. This is Finviz, something I use just to kind of get some news on some stuff. This is where'd it go? Nope. Okay, well, I'll just pull it up. It's the pre-market data, so it's what I use. I think it's like CNN, if I'm not mistaken, which I'm not a big fan of their network, but hey, it gets it. So what I use this for is we're looking at the overall futures of the market. Market's going to open up here in about 2 minutes. We're looking at, hey, is it going up down or sideways. And then world markets too. So you got Asia markets, Japan and China, and then you have England and Germany, and we've got mixed in both sides. Most of the time we know that Japan follows us, or Asian markets follow us, and then English markets lead the market. Or we can kind of have a tug of war, I guess you could say there. So just using this as an indicator. Then I'm looking at also, you can come into Tastyworks and you can go to market and you can search right here by these symbols. Now it might be a little bit confusing, but ESZ8, that is the S&P 500. NQ, that's for the NASDAQ. YM is for the Dow. RT is for the Russell. I just remember R for Russell. The ones that don't make sense are the Dow and the spiders, or the S&P, but NASDAQ and Russell do make sense, and it shows you just what's going on here. And you can see we're showing weakness, not a ton of upward strength on the SPY, the S&P 500, and then we're actually showing weakness in the Dow Jones and then strength in the other two. So it's a little bit of mixed signals, confirms the same thing that we're seeing over here, just kind of mixed signals. Ooh, there's the market open. So let's go look at my positions. I'm expecting some drawdowns, some give backs. So let's see. Okay, it's gonna take a minute to populate. Travelers expecting a big drawdown here, because that was a huge gain from yesterday. It's still taking a moment to populate. So let's go see. While that's populating, I heard a little beep over in Thinkorswim, and it gave me an alert saying what just triggered. Market Watch alerts, something just triggered. Here we go. Oracle is at or above, so let's go look at Oracle. I'm actually gonna quit Tastyworks and bring it back, just so that Thinkorswim is amazing because of the resources that they have. But overall, they're just kind of wonky. So TRV is not down. It's going to be bigger than that, man. I know it's going to be bigger than that. Let's see if I can't find the price point somewhere else. So we'll just Google it. TRV price. Maybe it is at 2704. I just don't believe it. You know what I mean? I just can't believe it. So anyways, I'm expecting to give back money today. As SPY will likely climb a bit. We'll see. I'm just not expecting a big move. So let's go look at the charts while that thing's loading. Let's go look at SPY. So look, I'm expecting something like this. Maybe, so we have this big drawdown yesterday, and then I'm expecting a smaller body to reside somewhere in the top or the bottom of this thing, and then us to continue down throughout the week towards the downside and come back and retest this low around 264, 265, somewhere around there. And then from there, I'm expecting a bounce to the upside, and we could possibly see all-time highs there. So that's what my overall expectancy is for the S&P. Travelers, okay, so it's 216 bucks. It's saying it's up 25 cents. I'm you know, yeah, I don't think that much of these are going to move. Let's see what Benzinga's saying. And Benzinga Pro 2, it has this squawk box, but it doesn't always work. I found that it's something that's known as the squawk, but it doesn't always squawk at you, and you have to kind of play around with it. And then also the alerts too. I want it to make this sound of a droplet. This is a horrible sound. Oh, watch this one. Yeah, see, that's a gross sound, but I wanted to make this sound, and I found that sometimes if I just readjust it, it'll come in, and you'll see in this top box, I've got these are my options. Sources are Benzinga. This is this platform, and then category is options, and all this top box is showing me is the options, basically unusual option volume. So I can just use these as indicators to go look at this. So it says MPC option alert December 7th 60, oh there we go, 60 puts sweep, and you can see that it says 65 was opened, a new open interest versus 171 open interest OI, and they bought it at 86 cents. And so all that would tell me is let's go look at
BIDU, Baidu. Morgan Stanley says Baidu may spin off its self-driving unit.
Okay, that's the
Bravo India Delta uniform.
So that was the squawk that you just heard. So MPC, all it's saying is that there's puts coming in here, and I like it, but from a chart standpoint, it's already past its support down here. And so maybe let's see if there's a previous support. There's a previous support back here. Oh, okay, so there's 62 down here around $62, and it's trading at around $66. It's a $4 move to the downside. And it's got downward momentum in stochastics, RSI. MACD saying no. I don't know, it's just not enough clean enough entry for me. So all I'm using Benzinga for is just trade ideas. And then let me show you this bottom one. This is newsfeed. So this is basically everything. Will come up here, and oftentimes the ones that say BZ Wire are the ones that get squawked out or announced over the radio. I found that the newsfeed is better. So I'm just kind of watching. I'm expecting a down day for Cron, CGC, and Tilray. So let's go look at all of those. I think they're all going to move down to probably that support, 681. These are all marijuana stocks. I think they're all going to come down to their support. You'll see them kind of in a W pattern. I'm expecting that to happen for all of them. So this is kind of wonky because they're all kind of in this W pattern. I'm expecting they'll come and hit this new low, and then they'll begin to move higher. Oh, hey, someone's watching. So thanks for hanging out. If you have any questions, let me know. You're literally just hanging out with me. I'm just watching the markets. That's all I'm doing. I'm using Benzinga Pro to give me trade ideas, and then just looking at the charts. I was doing an overall market analysis, and I don't think that we're going to see a big move today. We saw that in both the Asian markets, Japan and China, it was mixed. Asian markets.
ETLN, Eton Pharmaceuticals, scheduled to open at around 11:35 a.m., priced at $6 per share. That's Echo Tango Oscar November.
Asian markets generally follow us, and you can see that Japan had a 2% drop like we did, and then English markets or European markets normally lead, but they're both mixed too. What's reassuring is that they're pretty flat. In other words, there's not a lot of movement here. So really small move to the downside, really small move to the upside. So that leads me to believe that we are going to see yesterday be an engulfing candle, and today I think we'll have a small little candle body that will stay inside of the top and the bottom of this, and then we'll continue to move to the downside. So indicators are saying, hey, this is moving down. RSI is coming down. Stochastics is coming down to a bearish pinch. MACD is showing weakness on the bulls, and then from a chart technical standpoint, it's looking like we should come back and test this low around 264, or if you look at the SPX, which is the overall S&P 500, I'm thinking we'll come down to about 2640, maybe as high as like 2670, and we're currently sitting at 2740. So we got a good 100 points to move, I think, to the downside. So that's what I'm thinking for the markets, and then I'm just watching these things. Let's see if that will work. AMD option alert. There's calls coming in. NIO. I don't like NIO. Johnson & Johnson. There's calls coming in. Let's go look at Johnson & Johnson. I'm also going to relaunch this platform. I did relaunch my Tastyworks platform because once you go from
Pacific Gas and Electric shares coming back here 3112. Earlier report from the New York Post said that a woman said she was told by the company PCG that there were sparks on her property from electrical lines. That was the day before the current wildfire started.
I live in California, and Sacramento, which is the capital of California, has been a plume of smoke. Literally, I've only been here 5 years, and I love it. I've talked to people that have been here 20, 30 years, and they said it's been the smokiest. Literally, you can't see 3 cars in front of you. You can't see higher than 1-story buildings. It's just been crazy high. And so the fact that PCG, PG&E, which is
Juncker says Brexit is a historical mistake.
The fact that an electric company, PG&E, started one of the biggest fires. It's the deadliest fire in California history, and it's the most destructive fire in California history. That's crazy. And you can see that their stock overall took the hit for it. I'm trying to find Thinkorswim. I wanna put you over here. So as mentioned, this isn't going to be anything amazing. It's just you're just hanging out with me as we're looking at the markets. If you have any stocks that you're looking at or that you want to look at, let me know, and we will look at them. Say hello in the chat. Introduce yourself. I see there's a few of you hanging out here with us, and so we're just waiting. What the truck? Let's look at AMD. Calls are coming in. I think calls will come in because I am expecting a pop in the NASDAQ today because it just took such a huge hit yesterday. We should expect a move here in the NASDAQ up. You can see that it is up 1%. Yesterday I was down nearly 3%. So again, should have a big move, but again, I don't think it's going to exceed out of the top or the bottom of this candle body, and then from there I believe we'll come down and retest lows, and then we could possibly move higher.
QRVO, Corvo, Quebec Romeo Victor Oscar announcing some guidance. Sees Q3 2019 revenue of 800 million to 840 million. That's Quebec Romeo Victor Oscar. Non-GAAP diluted earnings for Q3 of FY 2019 expected to be $1.70 at the midpoint of guidance.
So there's an unusual
That's Quebec Romeo Victor Oscar
option volume in calls in Johnson & Johnson, and I can't see entering in at the top of the channel, especially with MACD showing weakness and RSI being overbought and stochastics coming down to a pinch. Doesn't look like good play. But all I'm doing is I'm just waiting.
Corvo says updating outlook due to recent demand changes for flagship smartphones.
Just waiting for a trade. I talk about trading all the time. It's like surfing a wave. You know in the ocean that there's all these smaller waves that are coming, but you don't want to get everyone and paddle out in front of everyone and try to catch every little microwave. Haha, no pun intended. You want to wait for the right setup. And then when the right setup comes along, you start taking the action that allows you to catch the wave. And it's the same way with trading, is that you're not looking to catch every little blip or ripple. You're looking for the right setup. And all I'm doing is using a platform, Benzinga Pro. It's about $200 a month. to give me some trade ideas as I'm sitting here watching these things. And sometimes I'll find that the markets will move a lot in a day, like yesterday, and then other times they don't. And so sometimes I'll sit here for maybe like 30 minutes or maybe 45 minutes, an hour, and then other times I'm sitting here, maybe a few hours. Like yesterday, I traded till 10. Normally by around like 7:30, I'm calling it quits. I'm like, okay, I've got any moves that I wanted to take, and that's about it. I'm loving this. So here's a breakdown of my current portfolio. These are all trades that I have on. They're all bearish except UTX. It's a directionally neutral. And I made a heck ton of money yesterday. If you add up these numbers over here, it's like $2,200. And I pulled in $2,100 from yesterday's gains. I am expecting to give back a little bit of that. And you can see that I'm doing that. That's happening. But as mentioned, from what I expect to happen in the overall markets, I'm thinking that we're going to have a little body inside of this big body from yesterday, and it's not going to pierce the bottom or the top. It's going to it might throw a wick, mean throwing a low or throwing a high, but I think its body will be inside of the previous day's candle body. Just something like this. Something like this. If you look back in February's drop, you see big drop, a move, but the high couldn't close above the high. It closed inside of the previous candle body. It then threw another little candle body inside of this big drop, and then it drops again, and then the next day it hits the low, and then it begins moving. So I'm expecting something like this kind of setup right here, where we're going to have maybe some price movement, some wicks or something like that, but the close of the price to be inside of the yesterday's candle body, maybe the same for Wednesday, tomorrow, and then for the next day, I believe that we'll carry down, and I think that we'll carry down to these previous lows, which is around 263, maybe somewhere here where this doji candle body and then the bottom of this body could be the high side, 265. But you look at that, that's about an $8 move or a $10 move, an $8 to a $10 move that I'm expecting for us to come to the downside. Now, do I have it right? No, won't always have it right, but that's what my analysis is saying. And then I'm using Benzinga here to look for trades. So Apple is saying calls are coming in. Yes, I think that's going to happen because we're expecting a pop in the tech industry. And then also too, Apple's sitting right on this 200-day simple moving average. So this might be an entry point for a bullish position going forward. But I'm going to wait a little bit because the last time that happened was back here in April. And it came down just like it did yesterday. It had a big correction, a drop, and even over here. And then it goes sideways. It hits that black line, that 200-day simple moving average, and then it goes sideways. Here it closed under it, went sideways, and then it began to climb. So I'm going to wait for Apple to come and see what will happen. And then if it can come maybe about halfway above this candle body yesterday, then that could be, looking at the indicators, it could give me an indication of, hey, could be an opportunity for a bullish entry. So let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. You're literally just hanging out with me as if we were hanging out together. This might go for an hour. It might go for another 30 minutes, something like that. Don't know, just going to kind of look for some trades. If there are no trades, I'm expecting the overall market to be flat because we saw in Europe markets and Asia markets mixed signals, and in Europe markets, which can lead the US markets, they're pretty flat, meaning not a lot of movement. And then you look at Benzinga and its movers, there's more negative than there is. What trade got filled? AIG. So I got stopped out of AIG. Okay, rude. Let's go see. That's fine. I took a small loss there. So I entered in yesterday at 39 bucks. I exited out today at 31. I used a market stop saying, hey, once this thing comes down to 39, open an order for a market order for me to exit out. It did open a market order, but I got filled lower than my stop trigger. I got filled 31 cents. My goal was to have this thing to be a break even. But let's go look at AIG from a charting standpoint and see day, year. Yeah, I didn't have enough profits yesterday. Yesterday I got into this thing 820. It didn't move enough for me to be able to get enough profits before I could protect myself from a loss. So we are seeing a little bit of a retracement, but as I'm mentioning with the overall markets, I expect the price point to stay somewhere in here, but I don't know. I would rather just not give up money and get out of a trade. Lose $8. $8 is no big deal. Lose $8 than to lose, you know, my entire position. So AIG got stopped out. Traveler, I expect to give back the most because I have the most delta. So as Travelers moves up, I have negative delta of 500, meaning for every $1 that Traveler moves up, I'll lose $500. But also for every $1 Traveler moves down, I'll gain $500 for this position. It is expiring this week on Friday, my position. It's in the November 16th. And let's go look at the chart for Travelers. I think what we'll see here is a continued move to the downside. So today we'll see a small little doji. It'll, I believe, you know, like I'm saying, overall, it'll stay inside of this candle body, and then we'll see a continued move to the downside. Stochastics is saying move down, MACD is saying move down. So that's what I'm expecting. Not a lot going on. It's 6:46 a.m. Here on West Coast Pacific Standard Time, and it's 6:51. So there's not anything that's gone on in the past few minutes. That's fine. I'm not thinking there's going to be a lot of action here. Let's see what that new one was. Okay. So this will throw out anything that could be a news catalyst. So a news piece of information that could create a wave or an impact, a catalyst of movement in the underlying securities. So we'll see all kinds of news related stuff, especially on that bottom left quadrant. We'll see that. But, okay, so while we got a little bit of downtime, I, later today, am doing some karaoke, if you don't know. Yeah, I'm going to get my karaoke on. I lost my bet to Jesse Ball, a legacy trader inside of our Facebook group, Legacy Traders, Option Traders. And so I have to do some karaoke. So I'm going to sing a song that's very popular. Everyone's going to know. And it'll be fun. So come watch that. You can watch that in our Facebook group. Or not in our Facebook group, on our Facebook page. I'll put it on our Facebook page. And then, of course, I'll load it up here, too. And if you're not subscribed to our channel already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And let us know the love. And then I put here weekly recaps, market analysis, and as well as transparency weekly recaps. So we are seeing a down day today, but overall our positions are green. And we've got, I don't know if you saw, we have working orders on most of our trades here. And these are stops in these things. Let's go check that out. WB. Puts are coming in for the December weekly. Let's go look at it. There's 596 open interest versus 313 open interest. Earnings is 1123. Okay, so almost guaranteed there's going to be implied volatility in WB simply because earnings is coming up. But if you know how to work implied volatility, you can work it. Oops. So it is in a downward trend. Puts are coming in at the 45? Is that what that said? 45 puts? Wow. Someone's going big on an earnings play. That's what that is. So someone thinks that this is going to come all the way down here, but if you look at it, I mean, it's not a bad synopsis, because this is in a downward channel. It's a channel with pressure to the downside, and maybe something like that. So just trying to capture price movement along the bottom here, and then let's zoom in, and let me guess, this is going to be at 45. Oh, it's at 46. So even that 45 one, that's pretty aggressive. But earnings isn't coming out till the 23rd, which is on this day, and that's 42. So someone's taking a big bet there. Oops, I don't have my Mac plugged in. Let's plug that in. Okay. So here's, while we got a little bit of downtime waiting for something to come through, let's talk about a trading strategy, if that would be okay with you guys. 3-day, 1 minute. And then let's go to drawings. No, not drawings. Studies. We are just going to edit it. So we're going to use the simples. Turn this into a 50. I'm going to show you something. It's going to be fun. I like it, at least. The color is going to be yellow. And then we're going to change this to the 10. And the color is going to be gray. Yeah, like that. Okay, apply. Okay, here, let me show you something. This is yesterday's price action movement. Let's make it a 5-minute chart. It'll be a little bit easier. Just not so many little bodies. Okay, here you go. Cool. So here's the trade, day trading strategy. So what you do is you look for, where is it at pre-market? This orange line or yellow line is the 50-day simple moving average. If it's below that, it's bearish. If it's above that, it's bullish. Oh, I want to put on signals too. Let's do this. Yes, up signal is going to be this bright green. Width is going to be 5. Down signal is going to be a bright red. Width 5. Okay. And then we'll put on a 10-day. We'll put on some signals here. We are going to go signals yes. Color up is going to be purple, because I love purple. It's my favorite color. Oh no, that's the actual line. Oops. I want the up signal here to be purple, and the down signal to be some color I don't like. We'll say brown. Okay, so here's the trade strategy. Follow the markets. Ooh, the brown is too, but you can see the arrow. You follow the markets, whatever's happening pre-market, then you're looking for that direction. Once it's below the 50-day simple moving average and it closes with a candle body, you wait for the next candle body for confirmation, and then you enter. So we would enter here at 276, and then when you exit, whenever the price closes above that gray line, the 10-day simple moving average. So we would enter in here at this price point, 276. We would exit out at 275.75. Doesn't sound like a lot of money, but let's go look at the trade. We would enter in for the soonest expiring option, which would be here, and we're going to enter into a long put or a long call if we're going directional. You know, you got to find your position sizing, but let's say you're investing $500 into this trade. You could buy 3 of these contracts, and you would get 46 delta, meaning for every $1 the underlying security moves, you would make 46 bucks, and you would get 3 contracts, so you'd have a total of 138 delta. So that's, if you had $500 in the trade, you'd be able to enter in 3 contracts here. It would give you 45 delta per contract. You'd have 3 contracts. It'd give you 138 delta or somewhere around there, and then you would capture a 75-cent move right here from 276 to 275.75. So you would take a 25-cent move times 138, and you would be able to capture a $34 move on a $500 investment, or 7% return on investment in from 635 to 725. So in 50 minutes, you'd be able to capture a 7% return on investment. Now the markets are open 6.5 hours a day. What if you could do that all the time? And then it comes back here. It closes under that 10-day moving average. It's still under the 50. You would enter in on the next candle here at 275.20, and you would exit here whenever the price closes above it, and be able to capture that price movement. So 275.2 minus, and then you would exit out here on this price point, top of that candle, 273.9. You'd capture a $1.30 move, and let's say you're able to have the same delta times 140. You'd be able to make 182 bucks on a $500 investment in about an hour's worth of time, 37% return on investment. So that's a fun little daily trade strategy that you can use to day trade if you're looking at doing that. The challenge is with it is that you have to be disciplined to enter and exit at the times that your trade plan says enter and exit. Like here, this would say enter, but then you'd wait for confirmation, and it would close right up next to it, and so you wouldn't enter. Then this would say enter, you'd wait for confirmation, you would enter, and then you can exit here. This is a 5-minute candle chart, as you see right here on the 5 minutes. If you put this down to a 1-minute candle chart, it gets a lot tighter in its entries and exits. So let's go look at the same first, 2 hours of the market from yesterday, and you'll see that we'll be able to capture a lot bigger move because you would enter in here the 2nd minute of the market, and then you would exit out here only about 30 minutes later, 25 minutes later, and you'd be able to capture that same 75-cent move in only 25 minutes versus the original was like 50 minutes. And then somewhere around here you would enter 737, and then you would exit out here. You would capture a less of a price move, only about $1 instead of $1.30, but you're doing it in less time. You're doing it in about 30 minutes again instead of another hour. So it's pretty cool how you can use this for day trading strategy. If you wanted to simplify it, what you would do is you would just enter whenever it crosses below and then confirms under that 50-day simple moving average, that yellow line, and then you would exit whenever it closes above it and confirms. So this one, let's zoom in a little bit here. It closed above it, and then you'd wait for confirmation, but then it would close below it, so you'd still hold on. It would close above it, you'd wait for confirmation, and it would close above it again. So you would exit out around here, 275.70, whenever you entered in here at 276.80. So you capture about a $1 move, simplifying it by just using the 50-day simple moving average. Enter whenever it closes under and confirms, exit whenever it closes above the price point confirms, enter whenever it closes under and confirms, exit, and you could do that all day from, like, look at this. So some right in here, you might have lost some money in here, but look at this one. You enter in here around 275, you wouldn't exit again until 273 and some change, capturing about $1's move in about an hour and a half worth of time. That means I got kicked out of PRU as well. So let's go look at my trade, my activity for PRU. Okay, so I captured profits there. I do need to send that trade alert to Susie Trade Alert subscribers. So let me do that real quick. We did it. We exited out, so people are literally getting that profit. So let's look at that trade. There we go. 290 is our original investment. We had 355, so 355 minus 290 equals a $65 investment, or a $65 gain per contract. We had 2 contracts, or it was a 22% return on investment in about 3 trading days. So 22% return on investment. I'll take it. Let's go look at our other positions and see how they're faring. Also, I want to go to activity and see how close my other trades are to triggering off. So this one's working, stop at 220. It's currently trading at 257. This one's working, stop at 50. It's currently trading at 57. This one's 225, 260. Ooh, this one, Travelers, is getting close. Ooh. Let's see. I think I want to hold on to Travelers, so I'm going to adjust that order. Replace. Let's take it down to 225. Review and send. Send order. Okay. So I took it down because I want to hold on to Travelers because I'm expecting some, as I've shared with you guys, some continued downside. Let's look at this, and then I might call this thing quits just because there's not a lot of activity going on. I mean, this thing hasn't triggered off. There's not been a unusual options volume in the past like 10 minutes. So, but KMB is saying calls are coming in. Let's go check it out. KMB. Calls are coming in. Interesting, because it's sitting right on that 50-day. Showing mixed signals as far as RSI is coming down, stochastic is coming down, MACD is still going up, and the actual price of the stock is moving up, but it's sitting under that 50-day moving average. I think this thing will turn with the rest of the market and come down, so I'm going to set an alert at the bottom of this wick saying, hey, if this happens, come look at this. If you want to look at my alerts, you can take a screenshot of this. These are all my alerts that I have. These are the tickers. It says at or above, at or below the current price, like that I want to be alerted, and then the price that it's trading at currently, and then it's active. I would say only pay attention to the top ones from this week, 11.12 to 11.13. These other ones are old. I just haven't cleared them out. I just need to go and clear them out. All right, well, it's 7. I'm not expecting, let's do an overall market analysis one more time. I'm not expecting a lot of movement today. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see some downward pressure. I think we'll see a tiny little doji body that won't get outside of the top or the bottom of this body. And then I think we'll see continued move to the downside. I'm expecting today to be low volume, and then tomorrow to be normal volume, move to the downside, and maybe it'll come down as low as 265, or even lower, around 263 and some change. Obviously, it could throw a wick down further than that, but as far as close price goes. And then from that point, I expect a bounce. Now, if we don't bounce from there and it closes under this wick at we'll call it 260, that would be interesting territory. The next low is 252, so that would be another $8 move to the downside. I don't think that's going to happen. We're going into December, coming shortly, and December is historically, it's a strong month. So I just can't see us clearing out the bottom of this support down here, but I do expect us to move down to it. Low volume today is my prediction inside this candle body, and then a continued move to the downside for tomorrow. Let's look at this last one, NWL. NWL, let's look. It's what is it, a penny stock? 19 calls are coming in. And now it's trades at 20 bucks. Just not enough movement there for me. And then to buy a call at the top of its channel there, can't see that happening. Okay, guys, well, that's all I've got for you. Hey, if this adds value to you, go ahead, like, subscribe. I put out weekly videos, anywhere from trainings to market recaps to literally being able to see inside of a real live portfolio just like you're seeing right now. My expected moves and my plans, weekly recaps, they all come to you here inside of YouTube in this channel. And then also follow us on Facebook. You can search out our page, Option Legacy, and join our group, Option Traders, Legacy Traders Facebook group. Lots of other traders in there adding value to each other, building a legacy together. Jesse Ball says live trading room, and Zach says, Tim, thanks, I enjoy these. Yeah, you're welcome, Zach. Okay guys, well that's all I've got for you. Not a lot of action today. I wish there was more, but there's just not, and that's kind of how trading goes sometimes. So I will see you next time, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side. Let's build that legacy.